I had a relationship until just recently, and we broke up, and I have some learning lessons from that. Learning lessons to me and to my future partner, if that appears. I believe that maybe the best training that you can have in life might be to be in a relationship. When you are in a relationship, you're literally in a ship, and you're sailing towards a goal, you're sailing towards a destination together. And that's key because it's together. It's not your ship and their ship, is what ship can you build together. I see that I didn't join a ship with my ex-partner. It was always my ship and her ship. So we couldn't actually build a relationship. I was one foot in mine, one foot in hers, and that actually didn't work. So that's super, super important. A powerful mentor of mine talks about 3 things that you have to have for having a powerful relationship. He's married 7 years now with his current partner. And what he says is you have to share 3 things. You have to share first a common mission. So where is the ship going? If you don't have the common mission, that's a red flag or whatever that means. But if you don't really know where you're both going, you won't go anywhere. That's the first one. Then it will be the values. What do you consider is the most important thing in the relationship? Is it speed? Is it business? Are you focused more on the family, on spending time together, just creating and exploring new things? What are the values that you have as a relationship? And then you will have the final aspect of it, which is the lifestyle. So you have the goal, then you have what you value, and then it's how you go about getting the things. I would consider it as a different vibration and a different rhythm. Imagine you are going like this, and then your partner goes like this. You're both going, but the frequency in which you're going is distant. This and this. So if you have a different resonance, if you have a different rhythm, you might go together, but there's some point where it might go separate ways. That's what's happened to me. I believe that this current the last relationship that I was in taught me a lot about myself, taught me to believe in myself, believe in the power of manifestation, to believe in everything that could be done and can be achieved. I'm truly, truly grateful, but I'm not in a rhythm for being in a relationship, or at least not at the rhythm that my ex-partner was being. My priorities right now is the game, is finding independence for myself, finding independence for my family in the coming future. And for that, I consider in my worldview right now that I must put in the work and put in the effort every single day. I'm working every single day, and that's okay for me. That's the rhythm for me. There's not a day where I don't try to create something, build something. I've gotten more accustomed to taking time to myself and relaxing, but in essence, my big thing right now is moving forward every single day. Something that could work with that is, someone that believes in you, that's good, but also someone that's working as hard as you or more. Someone that pushes you, because if you're trying to push something, but if they want to say, okay, let's relax for a second, let's relax, you're gonna not achieve what you want to achieve. I felt like because I was choosing certain things, I was not moving as fast as I could have if I was just pushing. I would say both ways are growing, because if you observe life, you grow internally and you grow on awareness. And I've done that all my life, but now I'm in a point where I want to grow in the material world, in getting resources, in getting money, in getting clients, in moving forward my goals and dreams, my aspirations in detail. And there's so much you can do as a person and as an individual, plus holding space for a relationship, because I believe a relationship now, it requires a lot of time. It requires a lot of intentionality. For me, okay, let's set a time and let's spend that hour together. But for others, that might not be enough. That might not be sporadic aliveness. Whereas I believe actually that if you couldn't put an hour for the day and pressure and potency and presence in that specific hour, that hour can be more valuable than an entire day of hanging out without truly connecting. So it's not about the time, but about the presence. And it is sad that I stayed in a relationship for that long without noticing the rhythms, how we are different. I wish I had realized that sooner and have closed that relationship, because now in my own life I don't want to build a relationship with someone unless they are in the same rhythm as me. I think it's a disservice to the world and to the other person to acquiesce to the other person or to just be willing to try it out. I know for my own relationship, I asked 50 questions before we actually got in touch into a real relationship. And the thing about it is that even though I asked those questions, in practice, it wasn't the case. It was too rigid for the other person. But that's okay again. I'm truly grateful for all the experiences that I've lived with my past relationship. I decided to write what are the aspects I look in a woman when I'm in a new relationship in the future. But more important than writing what I'm looking for in someone else is how can I complement that person. And I'm not the person that could complement the ideal person or the person that I'm looking for. I haven't nurtured myself enough. And this is where I'll start transitioning to myself. Because every relationship that you have with others is a reflection of your relationship with yourself. If you want a powerful relationship with others, you have to build first your relationship with yourself. My brother, we're talking about relationships to others and to oneself, and how I shifted from my understanding that it's a different rhythm and everyone has a different rhythm, and it's okay if the other person has a different rhythm than you, but in order to really have a relationship, you both have to be in that same rhythm. I'm now going to build my own self to then attract the rhythm that I'm currently looking, because it's not on them just to work. I have to be the one that works. I have to be the one that becomes the person that attracts the person that I really want.
I love the fact that you're talking about rhythm and how I equate that as energy or space. And I think it was really also important that I've actually had to learn. You know, I'm twice your age, and I keep saying that for a reason, because it doesn't matter how old you are. I still struggle with this part, which is not only have my rhythm, but understand my partner's rhythm or want to understand their rhythm. It's kind of like this, right? I think the best advice I've heard from someone is go on a date where both of you have no idea. Go on a date where you learn how to build a meal together, like you've never done it, so that you're both bringing in insecurities of how to create something, as opposed to one of you knowing it all and the other one being a student. And I think that's I failed a lot is the student teacher relationship, to where I may have some strengths, but I try to stand on them so much that I'm not allowing my partner to really dive into their weaknesses. And I think that's really, really important, is to understand that our partner does have weaknesses, our partner does have a different rhythm, and it's my responsibility to really try to learn what that rhythm is, so I have a cadence with that rhythm, as opposed to saying, I don't like that rhythm.
What of that is the most challenging?
Well, it's kind of like learning a new language, right? Everybody thinks I speak Spanish, but I don't, right? I'm fourth generation. That's a great example. Is I feel uncomfortable with the unknown. I get uncomfortable with learning a new language. So to answer your question is actually letting myself be vulnerable, to be uncomfortable and not have all the answers, and actually want to learn more about cadence or the rhythm of my partner, so that I can support that person in a way where I can be of support and not giving advice or someone that's a know-it-all things. And that's really hurt me in my past is coming in thinking I know it all because my ego, as opposed to saying, oh, I really don't know. I'd really love to learn more about your cadence and rhythm.
Yeah, no, it's definitely entering with this curiosity. I was hearing a really powerful podcast today of this doctor that talks about the erotic, because the word love for him is like too much trash, but the word eros and erotic, he says the world is always fuck. And what it means, the word fuck, is that it's always being penetrated and it's always being chased and ravished and explored. So it's really, imagine this, imagine like a circle, okay? And then a line. So the feminine is always encompassing big uncertainty, the
Right.
mystery, whatever bigness comes, whatever goes, the flow.
Right.
And a line is a straight line that always wants to go in a specific direction. It always wants to stabilize.
Right.
So this dance, that the world is like that in every step. Embracing that, it takes courage because it's jumping outside of ourselves being comfortable.
And this is a great topic, you know, especially for men, because women, you know, they've learned how to build relationships since they were little girls. They know how to communicate with their emotions and their feelings and tell what they want and need, and not the struggle that men have. We're very logical. We're doers. And so when you have these two polarized beings, they're beautiful together, but when they're not in sync, it's fucking chaos, right? And you and I know that. And so the idea, just to bring this to the forefront to your audience, this is a continual sequence of learning about yourself. And what I've had to learn the most is the more that I learn about myself, my insecurities, my passions, my desires, my vulnerabilities, then the more in tune I am, then I can communicate that better with my partner or with people. But if I don't even know, if I don't go deep enough, I can't communicate my wants and needs. And so it comes off as projection. It comes off as blaming, complaining. So the more that you can get in relationship with yourself, the deeper you go, right? The deeper you go, the more love you can give. You can only give as much love as deep as you go.
Exactly. And going back to uncertainty, I didn't have a plan of bringing you over, but it was this opening, just being vulnerable and saying, okay, let's bring him in. I trust myself and I trust the container that it will hold whatever Albert has to bring.
I felt you, bro. I literally went for a walk and I'm like, Astro's on. I'm gonna get on with him. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, and that's all you're talking about. So yeah, man. See, it's not what, and what you brought up is great, guys. You know, this is your audience. Like, what I love about Astro and what he brings this energy. And I'm got the goosebumps right now. There's an energy. We have a uniform consciousness in our world, in our being. And what Astro does such a great job of, it may not always execute, but he's always throwing it out there vibrationally. And when you get on the same wavelength, like him, we're on the same wavelength. I know it for a fact because I'm on here
We're
right
in the
now.
rhythm. We're
on the rhythm. Yeah. So imagine if you can, as a man or woman, get in sync in relationship with your partner and people like Astro and I, you level up. There's a certain level of higher frequency you get to that you're forced to magnetically be on one circuit. So I just want to thank you for doing what you do, bro.
Love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And yeah, it's expanding. Love where you're at right now. Show us a little bit about.
That's 51 right there, baby. Look at that right there. That's coming in nice too.
That's nature, man. So again, that's unexpected. That's flowing in the rhythm. That's just enjoying the process, being present and aware of what happens in front of you. And in a relationship is that when you're in with a person, you share that moment, and they make us think that time is a limited resource, and it is in a way, but at the same time, what's more limited, it's presence and attention. There's one or two people maybe watching this live because there's so much things going on that our attention is distracted in so many aspects. And do you know who's the person that needs your most attention? It's you. You are actually lacking the attention that you deserve, that you crave. All of us are looking outside for things. I just ate a box of chocolates, like a big box of chocolates, because I'm trying to externalize. Whereas if I just sit with myself, really sit with myself, I'll understand that this is all there is. That this moment, this precious gift that I have with myself is God, is universe, is creation expressing itself. So getting back to this awareness. and then exploring the world as other expressions of creation that are the same as you. You'll find joy in that. You'll find joy in just expressing yourself through others, holding space for others. What I want to do right now is schedule time with myself. I wake up, I paint a little bit, feel myself, I hug myself, I touch myself, and it has to be with a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of gratitude. This is what I have for the moment, but this is not just me. I am my mind, my consciousness, my creation, and the more we take time to go inside and be with that, and this is actually a reminder just for me to keep doing that, is food for the soul. It's the second filter of excellence, which is knowledge for the soul, because the answers lie within, they lie in your body. The traumas lie in your body. The wisdom lies in your body. If you hold this, you hold your mind, you raise the levels of eros and love for the world and to others. Because if you love yourself more, you're gonna see joy. And this is what I'm thinking. I'm not looking for happiness in life, because happiness for me is a perception and a moment that makes me happy, but how I am is I am at peace and I am joyful. I'm full of joy, full of love, full of expansion and gratitude towards everything that is in the world. Everything is a reflection of yourself. So the more you heal yourself, the more the world heals. The better you treat yourself, the better the world treats you and treats the world itself. As you evolve and as I evolve in relationships, it's taking the time and taking the presence to be with. And what I mean by that is, if you are taking time to be with yourself, don't go on social media and explore different things. Just try to be with yourself. Really feel what you are feeling. Really understand the process and your existence in this world. If you're with another person, schedule time and make it intentional, because 30 minutes of pure presence is much more powerful than an entire lifetime just going by, just being busy together. Many people say, "How are you?" And the answer is, "Yeah, fine, and you?" And that's just a diversion of what they're really feeling. Because if everyone was fine, we wouldn't have the world that we have. We do it because we are polite. We do it because we don't want people to feel ourselves. Because we don't want to feel ourselves. Next time someone asks you, "How are you?" look them in the eye. But first, go back and feel yourself. This is a journey. This is a healing process. And you're already healed as well. You are divine. You're powerful. Thank you so much for being here. And just keep learning about yourself. Keep learning about your life. I'm just sharing what's working and what's alive for me at this moment. Experience yourself fully. The game of life is the continuation of it, not achieving things. And I get caught up with that. But how can I experience this? Lots of love. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.